Hey everyone, Jason Roth, Keystone agronomist with the crop consideration. Today I want to talk about something that can be aggravating to all of us. For example, have you ever been cut off mid-set?
Dad!
Or how about cut off when you were driving?
Come on, Buckeye, learn how to drive.
Or that time you got a really bad haircut. I don't think so. But in all seriousness, there is other cutting that's been going on this year that's been pretty aggravating, and that's cutting in our fields, okay? So one of the first things that we saw this year was actually in alfalfa, and we saw bad defoliation from alfalfa weevil, actually some of the worst that I've ever seen, and in many cases, we needed to be treating for it. Now, that may be in the rearview mirror for most of us, but we've also seen pockets of problems this year with a system in corn and soybeans, and that system is low tillage systems, no-till systems, high residue systems, high cover crop systems. So nothing wrong with those programs if that's a system that you've adopted on your farm, but man, you got to up your game and be paying attention because it attracts problems. One of those problems is slugs. Slugs have been a problem this year. Saw some pretty significant feeding in areas, and the challenge with slugs is that there's no easy treatment or remedy. Again, residue management and minimizing how much residue really is the best way to not have an environment that favors slugs. Two other problem pests this year have been cutworm, black cutworm, and armyworm. We have seen black cutworm in pockets this year that's been pretty bad. Seen a lot of photos and pictures coming in. And sometimes one of the questions that pops up is traits. Are traits really effective for cutworm? Yes, if you have certain traits, depends on the trait, they may be, and it's got to be small larvae. If they get larger in size, those traits can struggle, all right? The other pest has been armyworm. Armyworm has been a challenge, especially in areas where we have cereal rye cover crop. That tends to be a mecca for them. That's where they want to be, all right? So cereal rye cover crops have been a problem, and we've had some fields that have had to be replanted because they were so heavily hit by armyworm. Again, both of these have happened in pockets, and that's what makes these pests challenging, is that every year they tend to pop up in different pockets. Those moths fly, again, on currents. They come out of the south, and then they come flying down, and they're attracted to weedy fields. And so it's kind of hard to predict where they're going to hit, but we got to be on our A game paying attention. Another pest that's hit us has been bean leaf beetle. Now, bean leaf beetle is generally not very consequential early season. We have, if we have good growing conditions that are favoring rapid growth, which we really have this year, we can oftentimes outgrow that defoliation that occurs. Their seed treatments can help for that first generation bean leaf beetle. Otherwise, you just got to pay attention, right? And then lastly, we've had a non-insect pest that's hit us for cutting this year, and that has been hail. We have had pockets with hail damage. Now, the good news with hail damage is that early season, that vegetative stage is generally not very consequential. Crops grow out of it. However, if you have beans that get cut off below that cotyledon, that's a problem. They're not going to have any opportunity to regrow. So with that, those are some of the pests that we've really seen this year in terms of cutting out in our fields. And I just kind of wanted to review some of those with you. For thresholds, generally there's lots of guides out there that exist that are helpful. If you have any questions on that, you can certainly talk to your Keystone representative. And with that, I'll cut it off here.